Bonjour, bonjour. Comment allez-vous ce soir? David First, comme d'habitude. Et salut Jérém. Tant mieux si ça va. Euh, pour l'instant, j'ai pas vu de message Discord pour dire que j'étais en live. Mais je pense que ça va arriver. Peut-être trop tôt, je ne sais point. Il y a toujours un train de retard. Merci pour cette blague. C'était très important de la faire. Alors, ce soir, l'épisode 4 de The Council. L'épisode 3, c'était le bazar. J'ai l'impression de dire ça à chaque fois, mais c'est toujours le bazar. Pour diverses raisons. Cette fois, c'est parce que notre mère, on sait déjà comment elle a perdu une main, et elle nous a dit que nous étions entourés de Daemons, qui contrôlaient le monde. Donc on savait déjà qu'ils contrôlaient le monde, mais on ne savait pas que c'était des Daemons. Et maintenant, on va devoir évoluer là-dedans. Et ça risque d'être palpitant. Et d'ailleurs, je tiens à dire, lors de la confrontation Emma-Emily Hillsborough, j'ai tué Emma. Je veux pas avoir tué Emily, elle était sympa, Emily. Bon, nous allons lancer. Juste un petit message. Je reste pas trop longtemps, désolé. Oh, mais t'inquiète. T'inquiète, t'inquiète. Donc, 3 manuscrits équipés. C'est très simple, il n'en reste que 3. Le choix n'est pas très compliqué, vu qu'il n'y en a pas.
I sense that Mr. Peru is about to surprise us too.
I believed in him. I followed him to the best of my ability. I championed his ideas, defended his decisions, and then, without even realizing it, I became lost.
Now that I've told you everything, you want to take my place, do you? No. I am Emily. You are wasting your time. Louis knows very well how to tell us apart.
Someone had the bang coming from the Duchess's room, and she isn't answering.
Salut Abigail.
You really must learn to conceal your weaknesses better, if you don't want your foes to use them against you.
Our desire is to steer the destiny of our respective countries for the good of all, and to no longer suffer the random hazards of history.
It is the natural order of things, Monsieur de Richet. There have always been men who govern other men. That is simply the way it is.
History forgets them with a disconcerting facility. No one speaks about them, and yet they whisper in the ears of kings and presidents.
C'est original comme endroit.
But where are we?
I don't know, but we better not hang around.
Je crois que le jeu va nous faire sauter sur les plateformes. On va demander ce
Do you
qu'elle
know what we're
pensait.
looking for?
We have to find that weapon. What do you know about the Holy Lance, Louis?
The what?
The Lance of Longinus the Centurion.
Now that you mention it, I did catch Von Wollner in the middle of an altercation with Piaggi.
What?
Von Wollner blamed His Eminence
Ah,
for
bonne
having
nouvelle,
supplied
Jeremy.
Mortimer with all the lances in the Vatican's possession.
If Mortimer has all of them in his possession, it's not going to help us.
Seriously? You don't really believe that fable, do you?
Every fable is founded on true events. I'm not saying that everything adds up, but imagine if it really did exist.
Alors,
Very
la
well.
dame tout abîmée,
Now
c'est
what?
notre
now
mère,
you know what you need to find.
Pardon?
I have to get to the wharf to prepare our
Sarah de
departure.
Richet,
Let's get off this cursed
qui
island as
elle est
quickly
la
as we
dirigeante
can.
de la
We shall
société
come back
secrète
when we are
Ordre
ready
Doré,
and
dont,
armed.
But
avec qui nous
hang
faisons
on,
partie.
Louis, let's first get to safety. We shall come back when we have the upper hand. Fear not.
Et
You
elle a
take
subi
care
quelques
of getting
épreuves
the lance. It's imperative. I'll
sur
take
l'île.
care of preparing our departure.
Hang on. At least tell me everything you know about this lance.
But I have never seen it. There's nothing else I can say, Louis. Well, you can always go snooping around Mortimer's study. I remember seeing paintings of Longinus there.
Hang on a second.
What's the matter?
Why did you shoot Emily's sister?
Do you really think now is the right time for this?
Oui.
I want to know, Mother. Why did you betray her?
Listen, Louis, I don't think you've really understood my interest in the Al-Azif. It's not just simple curiosity about some old relic.
You tried to kill her.
And I had no choice, for crying out loud. It must not fall into the hands of the demons, or we are all doomed, don't you see? Listen, I don't know exactly what it contains, but I prefer to be one step ahead. If they want it, there must be a reason. And even if I don't know what it is, I want to stop them for safety's sake, no matter what.
Nothing will stop you if I understand correctly. Not even...
Enough, Louis. If you could see the extent of their power as I do, then you would understand what I'm saying.
All right. We'll do it your way.
One more thing. If they find you in possession of the lance, they won't let you get away with it. Choose only one and hide it under your jacket so you don't get caught with it. Then run and meet me on the wharf.
And if I get caught?
If they catch you in possession of the lance, we're all doomed. Do you understand?
Perfectly.
Good. And go talk to Piaggi. He's the one who probably knows the most about this.
Nous allons devoir voler une lance. Piaggi, viens ici. Où est-ce qu'on sort? Ah oui, c'est là. C'est terrible comme endroit. Ah. On va devoir se tremper avec une lance quand même. Je sais pas si c'est faire comme les autres et juste ça va être sous notre manteau. Ou s'il va y avoir vraiment un truc qui dit qu'on a la lance. Alors, si je me souviens bien. Merveilleux labyrinthe quand même. Alors je dirais, Piaggi est dans sa chambre. Du coup, Faut monter à l'étage des chambres. Non. C'est quoi ça? Non, j'en ai pas la place. Maintenant, la chambre de Piaggi, elle est juste là. Donc, je sais pas comment ça peut arriver qu'on se fasse prendre avec la lance en fait. Genre on va rencontrer plein de gens sur le chemin, ils vont nous poser des questions, ou alors elle sera visible et du coup il faudra aller faire vite. Je n'en sais rien.
The cardinal's not in his room. I bet he went back to stuffing himself.
Ah. Kizako, que ceci. Ok. La gelée Philippe. Très important la gelée Philippe. Est-ce qu'il y a d'autres choses qu'on peut voler dans sa chambre?
Venus and Cupid with a satyr, a Correggio. Innocence, indiscretion, and lechery. Giuseppe must love that.
Encore de la gelée Philippe.
My dear Giuseppe, poor health forbids me from joining you. Please thank Sir Gregory for his invitation to Lord Mortimer's. I'm convinced you'll be able to strengthen our agreements.
Donc, il est parti s'empiffrer. C'est l'étage en dessous. Je ne sais pas, petit... Non, salle à manger. Oui, par là-bas, la salle à manger. C'est un marathon dans les couloirs du château. Dieu sait que je n'aime pas cette pièce. C'est nul de tourner comme ça à chaque fois. Alors, mon cher Piaggi, qu'as-tu à nous dire à propos de la Sainte Lance?
Your Eminence, would you have a moment to spare?
Not now, Louis. Please, leave me alone.
I beg your pardon?
I want to be alone.
Very well. I'm only searching for information about the lance of Longinus, the soldier. If you could...
You're not listening to me. You are playing with fire.
I heard you speak to Mr. von Wollner about it, and I was wondering if you could tell me something about it.
That was a private conversation. How could I have known that he was listening to us?
I see what you mean.
Louis, don't push it. Leave while you still can.
Your Eminence, are you all right? Your Eminence, are you with me? Can you turn around, please?
What do you want to know about the Holy Lands, Louis?
Your Eminence, turn around.
This is the weapon used by a Roman centurion on the very day Christ was nailed to the cross.
Look at me.
Longinus thrust his lance in the right side of Jesus.
Please.
As you wish.
His nose is bleeding.
So you are looking for the Holy Lance of Longinus, are you?
C'est terrible.
No,
Le
no,
coup de
I
tout
was
ça.
wondering about it myself.
J'espère que je vois pas trop de questions.
It's even worse than I thought. I believe you when you say you've only come to find out more. But in that case, it means that Sarah didn't even tell you the point of it all. Because, believe me, you are looking for it. You are looking for the lance. You should know.
Je vais utiliser ma jolie Philippe déjà.
Lord Mortimer has spent a good part of his life and his fortune trying to find it. Never will he let you have it. But tell me, before going any further, have you spoken to anyone else about this?
Allez.
No, Your Eminence. I thought you'd be the only one able to help me with it.
Your words lack conviction, Louis. If I'm asking you all these things, it's for your own good, you know. You have no reason to lie to me. Imagine you find it, which I don't doubt, given how resolute you are when you've got something on your mind. Then what? What are you going to use the lance for, exactly?
If I told you why I needed this lance, you would never believe it.
Trust me, you can tell me.
Je sais pas si je vais réussir hein, quand même.
It's our only chance to vanquish the demons.
Ah.
Oh my dear God, Louis. You sound just like Sarah. Do you realize you are following the same path, step by step? Sarah also started by imagining things. She too spoke of demons, I am told. She could no longer speak to anyone, and saw a hidden monster in every guest, lurking in the shadows, ready to devour her. You must let us help you. Louis, I thank you for your sincerity. I shall answer you about Longinus. You deserve to be told. His spear-headed lance did indeed pierce the side of the Messiah. His blood gushed out, covering the head of the lance. It was covered in the blood of Christ.
Thank you, Your Eminence.
You are welcome. Be careful, Louis. You are on a perilous path. Don't follow Sarah's demons, my boy. Don't delve too deeply into her delusions, or you won't be able to come back. The demons that she's frantically trying to drive away are in her own mind. Take good care of yourself. God keep you.
Ok. Donc, nous avons des informations sur la lance. Et en plus, PNJ nous dit que les Daemons, c'est dans la tête de Sarah. Help me. C'est complexe. Spécialiste de l'ésotérisme. Qui est spécialiste de l'ésotérisme déjà? On va essayer d'aller voir Van Volner. Émile Lisborough, non. Pourquoi je fais si compliqué? Van Volner, c'est par là-bas. Voyons
Pardon me,
d'abord lui.
monsieur, but I have work to do.
Non, ok. Il veut rien. Van Volner.
It seems like he isn't here.
Ah bah super.
What a mess. Looks like Volner was interrupted. Looks a lot like straw.
And he's drawn something in a hurry on this sheet. I get the feeling that I've seen that somewhere before.
C'est quoi énorme. Johan. Ah. Ok. Où est-ce que je peux trouver ce Van Volner vu qu'il n'est pas là? Eh ben, nous allons redescendre. On va essayer le petit salon. Peut-être qu'il y a du monde. Oh, de la gelée Philippe. Il n'y a personne. C'est génial ça.
What can I do for you, sir? I am at your service day and night, sir.
Il va nous aider. Alors. Remontons. On va aller voir le bureau de Mortimer. Vu que c'est là il y a le plus de choses normalement. Allons. C'est quoi ça?
Saint Longinus. Let's take a closer look at his lance. It is shaped like a leaf, like the real lance, maybe. How can I be sure? No, this is too easy. Mortimer's trying to throw me off the track again. It seems too visible to be true. Impossible not to see the statue on first glance, given its size. And Mortimer has no interest in making the shape of the true lance so easy to see.
I think this statue does represent Longinus, armed with a lance that wounded Jesus, the Holy Lance. How can I find out if this is an exact representation? There's no way of being certain of it.
Bon. Ça nous avance rien, ça. C'est parfait. Ah non, mais je sais, on peut trouver des trucs normalement. Dans la salle cachée. La salle cachée. On va descendre. Galerie des portraits. Je ne peux pas. Pourquoi je ne peux point? Mon Dieu. Je ne sais pas où ça peut être. Sortir. Peut-être qu'il y a plus de choses dehors, je ne sais rien. Peut-être qu'il y a des gens dehors aussi. Parce que là c'est un peu vide. Je reviens causer à des gens là. Et encore de la jolie Philippe. Il y a quelqu'un. Ah bah oui. Et oui, quelqu'un ici. Je l'ai pas vu tout à l'heure.
Good evening, Mr. President.
Good evening.
I'm back on the trail of my mother again. I don't have time to explain, but would you know anything about the Holy Lance?
That's good news. But be careful, Louis. You might end up getting noticed.
Do you know anything or not?
No.
J'ai l'impression
I
qu'ils sont
regret I
tous
don't.
soulagés que j'en
But
parle.
why not ask von Wallner? Theology is his field, after all.
That's an idea. In that case, I'll try and find him.
You are keeping up the good work, I see. But I'm telling you, keep your guard up. Everyone is rather on edge right now.
You're right. Thanks for everything, Mr. President.
See you later.
Eh, Van Volder, mais il est où ce con?
Lord Mortimer certainly has a taste for staging rooms.
Bon, on va retourner dans la chambre de Von Volner parce que ça a bougé depuis. Mais j'ai confiance moins 1000, hein, franchement. On prend le gelé Philippe, bien sûr. Bon.
It seems like he isn't here. A chemistry set. That's not surprising coming from von Wollner. So, let's see what Wollner has in his bookcase. I don't know where to begin. I've never heard of most of these works.
Dirty Shay?
Damn, that's all I need. Maybe he knows something about the
Eh ben,
land.
What are you doing in my room?
parlons de lui ou des lances. Je ne sais point. Directement les lances.
Well, sir, I see you have some captivating books, and you seem to be rather interested in the famous Longinus.
Why, it's... what's it to do with you?
I overheard you speaking with Piaggi. What are you two up to exactly?
No, Oh, fine. Yes. We are looking for the Holy Lance. That imbecile has given Mortimer all the ones kept in the private collection of the Holy See. But it's not what you think. Hang on a minute. You're the one looking for the lance.
No,
Don't take me for a fool. You are looking for the Holy Lances.
What's the matter? You seem completely panicked at the idea I might be interested in this relic.
No, that's not true.
What are you so afraid of?
I'm not afraid.
You know Mortimer's got it, so you're not worried that I'd give it back to him.
What are
so
you?
why are you so terrified of me being able to find it?
You have no idea what it is you're looking for. What are you playing at, Richet? Mortimer's the one who has that cursed lance.
How long have you been looking for it?
I see. You want it, and so you plan to steal it from Mortimer.
For a long time. Isn't that right?
Why, you little swine! You're planning to give it to Sir Gregory. You're looking to double-cross me, and Piaggi too.
What on earth is he talking about?
Ok, donc il y a Sir Holm, qui veut la lance. En fait, ils sont tous là pour essayer de plumer Mortimer. C'est terrible ça.
Mr. Von Volner, would you be so kind as to calm yourself down, please? All I'm trying to do is make amends for His Eminence's errors. Sir Gregory should surround himself with better people if you want my opinion, but Piaggi is a friend of my mother's.
What? You want to help, Piaggi?
J'espère que ça
I
passe,
just
hein,
told you that's what
franchement.
my mother would do if she was here. I heard you in the corridor, and he seemed to be in serious trouble because of the lances. I'm only trying to help him.
Ah, c'est bon.
All right, Louis. I thought you were trying to manipulate me. But please, excuse me. I got a little bit carried away. But you can't get ahead by staying in the shadows on a case like this. There are already several of us searching for the Lance of Longinus. And it would be smarter to pool our information.
Unfortunately, I've barely made any progress. I'm still trying to find out what the original lance really looked like.
Let me reassure you, we've all been there, given the number of copies there are in existence. It also took us quite some time to discover its true shape. Many believe the central part of the head of the lance to be covered in gold, whereas, in truth, its center is made of an alloy of copper and iron.
That does make sense. In those times, a centurion wouldn't have any chance of possessing a lance made of gold.
That is the
Eh ouais, t'as de
perversion
ta
of
science,
Christian
oui.
idolatry. A copper lance could not have been noble enough to pierce the side of Christ.
Anyway, thank you, sir.
You're welcome, Louis. Keep me posted as to your research. We're bound to end up recovering it.
I'm counting on it. See you later.
Bon, je sais qu'elle est en cuivre, mais après... On va retourner dans le bureau de Mortimer. Ou je sais pas. Faut des textes sacrés aussi. Peut-être dans la chambre de Piaggi. C'est vraiment l'inconnu tout ça. Je ne comprends pas ce que je dois faire. Enfin, si, je comprends que je dois chercher une lance. Qui est en cuivre. Mais où ça? Piaggi, je rentre chez toi.
The Cardinal's not in his room. I bet he went back to stuffing himself.
My dear Giuseppe,
Ça, j'ai déjà lu tout à l'heure. Sur le balcon, il n'y a rien. Alors. De la gelée Philippe. Wesh. Il n'y a rien, c'était une erreur.
The Cardinal's not in his room. I bet he went back to stuffing
Oui, je sais,
himself.
il a dû partir sans piffrer. Tu peux pas le dire à chaque fois que je rentre là-dedans, quand même. Il a 3 portes sur le balcon. Eh ben. Où c'est qu'on va chercher? Franchement. Bureau du chef, peut-être. Je ne sais point. Espérons. Franchement, c'est... J'en ai marre de tourner en rond là-dedans. C'est terrible. Est-ce qu'on va avoir plus d'informations en refaisant ça? Je ne sais rien. Je ne crois pas.
Saint Longinus. Let's take a closer look at his lance. It is shaped like a leaf, like the real lance, maybe. How can I be sure? Hey, looks like there's a symbol engraved on the tip. Yes, a fish. The Christian fish, no doubt. It can't be a coincidence. It must have been done on purpose. Huh. Good thing I took a closer look.
Je ne sais pas si ça m'a aidé de voir un poisson. Je ne sais vraiment pas si ça m'a aidé. On va faire les chambres. Non mais normalement l'épisode c'est environ 3 heures. J'en prends 50 si je trouve pas ça.
Dante's Paradise. Raise your head and be reassured, for what comes up here from the mortal world must ripen in our rays.
Il y avait un texte sacré ici, mais normal je l'ai pris, moi qui n'y soit plus. Oh un coffre, est-ce que je peux ouvrir?
Chest with the occult symbol representing air.
Ah oui. Elixir d'or, j'ai gagné. Des gâteaux, toujours des gâteaux. Ça fait beaucoup de gâteaux. Allez, la chambre de Perru. Il faut qu'on recherche, non, il risque rien d'y avoir.
Dear Monsieur Peru, I'm writing to thank you.
All right.
I've retrieved everything. Great. Honey.
Ah, un livre volé. C'est sympa ça. Ah, mais laisse-moi sortir de ce rideau.
Amber crystals.
Dear friend, please come.
J'en prends avec les rideaux. Nous allons donc guillotiner tous les rideaux. C'est qui cette chambre? Bonaparte. Eh ben. Il veut pas qu'on rentre chez lui. Il me va bien du coup. Non, ça ne peut pas. Elle ne peut pas aller bien puisqu'elle est morte. Oui, oui, je connais cette théorie. Ferme-la, s'il te plaît, Blix. J'ai tué Emily. J'ai tué Emma, il reste Emily.
Dear Eve.
Toi, tu me fais dire une bêtise après, toi. J'ai tué Emma, il reste Emily. J'en suis convaincu.
A letter from William Pitt the Younger, addressed to Emily. A letter from William Pitt the Elder, addressed to Emily. He was the English Prime Minister. This letter dates from 15 years ago now. Madam.
Alors, oui, c'est le bon endroit. Godoy, on peut pas y aller. Ma chambre. Est-ce que je cache des trucs? Oh.
Amber crystals.
Les jolis papillons. On va retourner chez Piaggi. Hein. J'ai déjà fouillé 2 fois, mais bon.
The Cardinal's not in his room. I bet he went back to
Ah
stuffing
oui, on
himself.
sait, il n'est pas chez lui, s'empiffrer, c'est... Ah.
Let's have a look at his personal papers.
Of course, it's in Latin, the language of the church.
Allez, parlons latin.
All those hours of learning Latin declensions are going to pay off in the end.
Mother will be proud.
Vous voyez, le latin, ça
This
sert.
could be interesting.
Apprenez le latin.
Let's say a sancte, various representation criteria, of which are shown the most common throughout the centuries, and in different forms. If Piaggi's notes are anything to go by, the weapon I'm looking for is shaped like a tapered spear. Well, that should help me identify it.
Ok, donc j'aurais pu ne pas avoir cette information. On s'en fout. J'ai eu la même par Petit. Qu'est-ce que je peux faire ensuite?
The cardinal's not in his room.
Oui, on sait, il est parti s'empiffrer. Dites-moi si un endroit où vous pensez que j'aurais pu fouiller, trouver des trucs, ou fouiller davantage même. Dans le grand hall, j'ai vu Washington. Là, il n'y a rien, là, il n'y a rien. Enfin, si, un salle à manger, il y a Piaggi qui déprime. Non, qui saigne du nez plutôt. Le jardin, on s'en fout. Le quai, il n'y a rien. Et la crypte, on s'en fout aussi. Bureau de Mortimer. On va y retourner. C'est terrible ce que je fais, hein, franchement. Je sais pas si j'aurais pu louper quelque chose dans le bureau de Mortimer. J'ai vu la grande statue de Longinus. Avec le poisson au bout de la lance. Est-ce qu'il y avait d'autres choses à voir? Je ne sais point. Là, elle est la grande statue. La grande statue.
Longinus is holding the holy lance in his left hand, and I'll bet he's holding the sponge soaked in holy blood in the other hand. Yes! Here we can see that the holy lance is represented in the shape of a spear. I better make sure I check this twice. It's a work that dates from the Renaissance. There's nothing to say that it's not based on erroneous elements. This work is an order from Lord Mortimer. All the details have been conceived with a specific goal in mind. Upon closer examination, you can see that even the style clashes with that of most of the other works in the manor. No, if Mortimer has taken special care as the conception and the exhibition of this painting in his study in the same way as for the nightmare painting, it must be of some significance. And that is indeed the true shape of the Holy Lance, a spear shape. Adoration of the Shepherds with Saints Longinus and John, Giulio Romano, 1534.
Bon. Nous avons 3 sources qui disent que c'est une forme d'épieu. Je finis par croire que c'est une forme d'épieu, hein, franchement. sais plus, j'ai loupé un choix ou pas dans cette...
Longinus is holding the holy lance in his left hand, and I'll bet he's holding the sponge-soaked in holy blood in the other hand. Yes! Here we can see that the holy lance is represented in the shape of a spear. I better make sure I check this twice. It's a work that dates from the Renaissance. And there's nothing to say that it's not based on erroneous elements. There's only one way of being sure. I'll have to find other clues that will confirm this information. But I believe what I read in the letter from Milan addressed to Mortimer. There's every reason to believe that this painting has been modified according to his guidelines to represent the true shape of the Holy Lance, a spear shape.
Je sais pas ce que je dois faire pour rassembler tous les indices là. Spécialiste de l'ésotérisme, j'ai vu Van Volner et Piaggi. Représentation artistique, il y a le tableau là, le grand statue. Peut-être que je manque de texte sacré, mais où les trouver? Van Volner, il a des livres. Je ne peux pas aller. Où est-ce qu'on peut trouver des livres? La galerie des portraits, c'est mort. Ou alors on essaie de retourner à la crypte. On a rassemblé les textes sacrés à la crypte pour l'ouvrir. Peut-être qu'on peut y accéder. J'ai fait le chemin sans me tromper, c'est beau.
The Bible must mean the lance which finally took the life of Christ.
Ah. Se souvenir de où trouver un indice. Chercher
Four
les évangiles.
Gospels each give an account of the death of Christ. Let's see what they can tell me about the lance. There's nothing about the lance in this account of the crucifixion. This apostle does not mention the lance in his description of the death of Christ. There's no mention of the lance in what Luke says about the death of Christ. Ah, there. When they came to Jesus and saw that he was dead already, they broke not his legs, but one of the soldiers with a shimmering lance pierced his side, and forthwith there came out blood and water, and he that saw it bore witness. and his record is true, and he knoweth that he saith true, that ye might believe. A shimmering lance? What is this telling me? The Bible must mean the lance which finally took the life of Christ. The 4 Gospels each give an account of the death of Christ. Let's see what they can tell me about the lance. Ah, there! When they came to Jesus and saw that he was dead already, they broke not his legs, but one of the soldiers with a shimmering lance pierced his side, and forthwith there came out blood and water. And he that saw it bore witness. And his record is true, and he knoweth that he saith true, that ye might believe. A shimmering lance? What is this telling me? The medieval Hermetic traditions evoke the idea of using noble materials for relics, which the monasteries often made themselves in order to attract pilgrims. Of course, they had to inspire greatness. So here, we might think of gold, whereas a centurion could not have hoped for anything better than copper at the time. The true lance would not have been a luxurious weapon.
Il y a un petit bug, ou alors c'est juste mal fait. Pour le passage de l'entrée de la crypte à ici. Vraiment, là je suis perdu. Je ne sais pas ce que je dois faire pour finir de trouver les indices.
Flavius Aetius. Flavius Aetius, the one they call the last of the Romans. He was assassinated by his own emperor, who was jealous of all his victories. But how did he end up here?
J'ai l'impression que ça va être le bazar aussi dans les gens qui sont enterrés là-dedans. Oh mais franchement, comment tu veux accéder à tout ça? C'est le bazar.
I can see that this lance has the shape of a boar spear. The blade is partially coated in copper, and I can just make out the symbol of the Eye of Ra engraved on the tip. There's no room for error. Am I sure this is the one to take?
Non.
I can see this lance has a spear shape, it is copper rimmed, and it has been engraved with the symbol of the Christian fish on the tip.
Ça doit être celle-là. Est-ce qu'il y en a une autre? Oui, il y en a une autre. Oh, celle-là, ça correspond pas du tout.
A leaf shape. It is copper rimmed. The symbol of the Christian fish is engraved on the tip.
Donc, c'est bien, ils ont essayé de faire douter. Tout en cuivre, une forme de feuille, 2 formes d'épieu, 2 poissons, un symbole de rat, et C'est celle-là qu'il faut prendre.
I must be sure of my choice. I cannot get it wrong. Am I absolutely sure this is the one to take?
Ah bah c'est bon. Je sais pas si à un moment dans l'histoire on va devoir quitter l'île pour avoir un autre endroit en fait où continuer. Genre un peu comme dans l'intro, on est chez Von Borchardt. Je sais plus. Von Borchardt ou chez nous? Peut-être bien, je ne sais plus. Du coup on doit aller sur les quais. J'espère que j'en besoin de points d'effort parce que j'en ai point. J'ai choisi la chose. Alors, vous comprenez les choses ici. Comprendre à propos de quoi? Parce que je t'ai déjà dit que c'était le bazar. Non, déjà, quand tu tues des gens, ça peut être sympa de savoir qui. J'ai tué Emma, ok? Pom, pom, pom. Je ne sais pas quelle compétence monter. Bon, allez, je vais tout mettre sur l'érudition et on valide ça.
I'm already pressed for time as it is. Mother's waiting for me on the wharf.
Manuscrit équipé 3. J'en ai qu'un équipé. C'est-à-dire que j'ai pas assez volé de livres. Alors, les quais. Qu'est-ce que je fais?
De Richet, sticking your nose everywhere again.
Wow, what's the matter with him? Excuse me, monsieur.
Un Bonaparte sauvage sort des forêts.
This way just to fail, so close to the goal.
Why? What are you talking about?
I am talking about what you are doing. This conference is going to boost my career. There is no question of me letting you ruin everything. I just surprised Piaget and Volner talking. You are about to rob Mortimer. Give me what you took from him immediately.
Let's keep calm, please. I don't know what you're talking about. I'll have to cut this short, quick.
Raison ne frappe plus.
Look, I don't know what you're going on about, and I don't have time for this right now.
Don't bank on getting rid of me so easily, De Richet. Where have you been?
Did Lord Mortimer tell you you could trust me?
Yes, but...
So, I'm working for him right now, and you're wasting my time with your questions. Look, if he hasn't taken you into his confidence, then you shouldn't know yet.
I'll soon
On ne sait
figure
pas
out
si on
what
est
you are
humilié ou
and
mort. Il
I
n'y a rien
am
qui confirme.
convinced that you have indeed robbed Mortimer.
Il n'y a rien qui
The
confirme
game is
soit l'un ou soit
give me
l'autre.
what you took from him.
You know, this is becoming an obsession with you.
Show me what you are carrying, or I will call the servants.
On va
Remind me,
l'embrouiller.
who did you hear making those alleged charges against me?
His Eminence Piaget and Monsieur von Wollner were discussing them when I joined them.
And remind me, during the conference, which side were His Eminence and Mr. von Wollner on?
Sir Gregory. But what has that got to do with it?
And did it not occur to you for a single instant that they might have been speaking about me in front of you on
Je veux dire, ça a
purpose
fonctionné quand même.
to manipulate you? I trust them to detect novices who are likely to be taken in, yes.
Those sons of whores. Ah! So that's how they see me.
Be careful to make sure the conference keeps on going ahead smoothly, though. Please. It would grieve me to have to report you to Lord Mortimer.
No, of course. I'll make sure those two bastards get what they've got. Right. We'll leave it there. I'm glad that things have been cleared up.
So, are we finished here?
Indeed we are. I shall leave you.
That's right. Go play somewhere else. See you later, monsieur.
Oh.
Come on. I have to hurry up and join my mother at the wharf now.
J'espère qu'il n'y aura pas quelqu'un d'autre parce que je n'ai plus de points d'effort. Et je n'ai pas de gelée. Est-ce que je me dis, j'ai le bon endroit, moi? Comment il prend la confiance, lui? Tellement. Non. La salle du colloque est... Comment dire? Bloquée. Allons. Allons rejoindre Moment pour lui donner sa lance. C'est beau quand même ce jeu. C'est quand même super beau. On peut pas sauter. C'est beaucoup plus rapide. Arf, c'est la marde.
Ah, Louis.
As luck would have it.
Come, my boy. I would like to have a word with you.
Oh là là.
Come closer, please. It's time we had a little chat.
What's wrong, my lord? Tell me, what's with all the bodyguards?
Louis, it's time you found out the truth. I've been observing you since you arrived. I see you running all over the grounds in search of Sarah. I would like to prevent her from leading you even further down the wrong road. You see, Sarah and I have known each other for a very long time, Louis. I am aware of her theory.
About me?
About Gregory. About the demons.
She's right. Look at me. I have inhabited this body since 1191. For the last 602 years, I have been this
C'est
dear
quoi ce
William
bazar?
Mortimer.
Il est quoi?
How would you qualify your species?
Non mais là le
scientifically?
jeu vient de me dire, vous voyez cette
question.
théorie? Bah elle est vraie.
What is your area of expertise?
Oh mais
My lord, to tell you the truth, I don't see myself as a scientist.
Well, consider us as a simple species still unknown to most of men. Thus we are born. We have the capacity to change bodies, that is all.
What has my mother got to do with all this?
She embarked on a crusade many years ago to kill all the demons.
That must have upset you. I imagine you retaliated.
No, I'm afraid she never forgave me.
Forgave what?
We met when she was still just a young woman. I appeared to her in a different form because I didn't want to reveal the identity of Lord Mortimer at that time. She was looking for someone interested in the occult to decipher an ancient book. We spent many years together until I revealed my true nature to her.
What happened next?
She felt betrayed and manipulated, tricked. We had an argument. She rejected me, and then she simply disappeared. Just after that, she joined the Order and began to relentlessly hunt us down.
oups, si j'avais pas assez de batterie pour regarder mon tel en vie. Et sur Twitch. C'est affreux, Ruber.
Why should I trust you?
I'm not asking you to, Louis. If you are still in doubt about the demons, I can assure you that won't last long.
But why me?
Why do I tell you about the greatest secret ever revealed to man?
That's right.
I'm coming to that, don't worry.
C'est...
What are the demons' projects for humanity?
Our aim has long since been to protect humanity from itself. On the other hand, although we give them the impulse to succeed, we don't all agree as to the path they take to achieve it.
Bonne soirée, Ruber.
You've been Mortimer for 600 years? How long have the demons been among mankind?
I don't think I'd be lying if I said that we have always been here.
If I follow you, you must have witnessed some of the greatest moments in history.
You could certainly say that, yes.
Did you know ancient Greece?
In many ways, yes. One day Pericles, the next Parmenides. Just the memory of the time I spent working on acoustics with Pythagoras, well, it moves me quite deeply, to tell the truth.
Pericles. He's the one who brought Athens to its golden age, isn't he?
In a way, yes.
He established democracy and then died during an epidemic. It wasn't so long after his 2 sons passed away. Isn't that right?
Excuse me, Louis. I would rather not relive any more of that, if you don't mind.
Did you know ancient Egypt?
Oh, yes, yes. We were gods on earth in those days.
What did men call you then?
Amenhotep IV.
The 10th pharaoh of the 18th dynasty?
Ooh, I see you're a connoisseur, Louis. Impressive.
Did you experience ancient Rome?
Oh, yes. Luxury and decadence, Louis. My family did indeed reign supreme, but from this period I retain only the works of my friend, Marcus Vitruvius Pollio.
You seem to be fascinated by Christ. You weren't him, were you?
Oh, no, not at all. He was my father, though. Strange as it seems.
I beg your pardon? Am I dreaming? Please tell me I'm dreaming.
We should have a chance to talk about all that again later, but yes, he was my father. All the mythology surrounding Jesus of Nazareth really stems from my father's prideful need to show himself among men.
Non, je veux pas croire ça.
I've noticed that you have a passion for the Crusades.
Among other things, yes. Mainly the third. It was during the siege of St. Joan of Arc that I took possession of Lord Mortimer.
And you've never changed skins or bodies since?
I have used other envelopes, but only to carry out very short tasks. Apart from that, indeed, I have been able to retain the identity of William Alexander Mortimer throughout the centuries.
C'est quand même terrible. On a quand même commencé le jeu en débarquant sur une île avec une duchesse et un cardinal pour une fête mondaine. Et on se retrouve avec un Daemon qui nous dit que Jésus c'est son père. Salut ombriste. Oh non, mais c'est quand même terrible.
And you truly have the power to manipulate the thoughts of men.
That's right. Every demon has the capacity to infiltrate the minds of men and to read and steer their thoughts.
Can you tell me more about your capacities, your supernatural powers?
Supernatural? From my point of view, they are perfectly natural. Well, Louis, just because the monkey does not fly doesn't mean that we should consider the bird a supernatural creature. We are all part of a grand design. We are simply made like this. By developing our art, we are able to read thoughts as well as write in the minds of men. It is possible for us to make them bow to our desire, but it doesn't work without leaving some scars.
And what do you do with this power?
We help them, of course.
And how is it you help men exactly?
Let's just say that without us, man would probably never have left his cave. Fire, the wheel, tools, writing. We are the spark that inspires man to search, to grow, to evolve.
Lucifer, the fallen archangel, left heaven accompanied by 133,306,668 angels. Is it true that there are that many of you?
No, I assure you, Louis. Forget your Bible class. It's ridiculous. We are not angels. We don't have wings. There is certainly nowhere near 1,000,000 of us. And for that matter, no sacred human text represents us correctly. There are several families, and the family to which I belong has 8 siblings, including Gregory and myself.
Sir Gregory is your brother?
Yes, what can I say? You can't choose your family. But it is very difficult to know
Les
exactly
Daemons
how
sont
many
sujets à des
there
problèmes
are,
familiaux aussi.
because a large number of our kind remain hidden or never reveal themselves even to us.
You're the devil incarnate.
The devil? I'm not saying that all Judeo-Christian folklore hasn't served us, but the truth is, of course, something quite different. Please, don't look at us through the primitive prism of religions. I am not hiding any horns or goat's feet, Louis. I have no tail.
Continue.
Louis, it's time you opened your eyes. Come, you'll soon see.
After you. If you could manipulate us mentally, what's the point of all the theatrics of the conference?
You must suspect that we asked ourselves that very same question. For many centuries, we didn't organize any conferences, and most of the time, it ended in civil war between demons. Many of us were killed during this period. The idea of organizing conferences was the answer to everything. The interest being to erect some rules among ourselves. Our family first divided up all the principal countries of the world. Now, whenever one of us wanted to propose a major change between these countries, they summon the demon in question and initiate a conference. The demon that initiates the proposition doesn't have to give notification of the subject of the conference beforehand. Consequently, we participate along with our best assets. Once the humans are brought together, the conference begins, but we are forbidden to use our talents to influence the participants. The first meeting is held in order to expose the subject to all the participants, followed by several days of reflection, during which we are allowed to be persuasive but not to impose our will. A second meeting closes the conference with a final vote.
So, for you it's a game, isn't it?
I understand your remark, but after living several centuries, you stand back and enjoy what
Après plusieurs siècles, vous prenez du recul. Mais à quel moment c'est possible de dire ça?
But how do you agree on global policy?
Locally, we often have competing interests, and sometimes we start wars between men which are linked to our disagreements. Most of the time, our father steps in and gives directives, which my family follow to the letter. Indeed, in my opinion, it is high time we moved on.
What do you mean?
I mean that a new era must begin. The old monarchic regimes are outdated, and it's time to evolve.
Ah, du coup, je comprends pourquoi il veut... Enfin, il soutient autant la démocratie, alors qu'il a l'apparence d'un noble anglais. C'est parce que du coup, il l'est pas.
Von Borchert,
il est autre chose, de plus supérieur.
For you. Exactly. Al-Azif has always belonged to my family, Louis. And with good reason. My father wrote much of it. Can you tell me what you've done with...
What? You mean the Al-Azif?
No, I already know that. Sarah came here with it and got rid of it. I was thinking of Von Borchert. He isn't essential, but he is a trusted person.
He's a prisoner at our headquarters in Paris.
All right.
Did what happened to Elizabeth Adams have anything to do with you?
Unfortunately, the poor girl became an issue between us, in spite of herself. A family of demons is still a family, and as in all families, there are disputes. Elizabeth's family, the Adams, has always been under the patriarchal control of my father. As he and myself are not really on very good terms, sending poor Elizabeth here was terribly rude of him, really.
You did accept, though.
No, I would say rather I was presented with a fait accompli by Gregory and went along with the intention of helping her. But this is my castle, and everyone is the master of their own home. I hope I've answered all your questions, Louis. Come, I've something to show you.
There is one question that remains to be answered. Why me? Why tell me all of this?
Oh, haven't you guessed yet?
Vous n'avez pas encore deviné? J'ai peur. On a Daemons aussi.
I really have no idea.
Come on, Louis, make an effort. What do you think could be the reason? Look, we are of the gods, Louis. Always have been. You, as much as me. You are one of us, Louis. You too are a demon.
Are you serious?
You know it. Deep down inside, you know I am telling you the truth. Where do you think that natural, charismatic presence comes from? Your talent must already have manifested itself somehow. Have you ever had any visions?
No. Stop it. It's absurd.
Have you never found yourself suddenly inside someone else's body without knowing why?
No.
Whilst asleep, maybe? That's how it often happens the first time. Your spirit wanders unconsciously.
My mother can't have lied to me about that.
It's true. Your real mother would never have lied to you.
What do you mean?
Louis,
Oh
I would
non.
rather you found this out from her own lips, but it's important that you know. Sarah is not your mother.
What?
I'm sorry you had to find out this way, Louis. But you must know the truth before you commit an irreparable act.
No, no. No, it's not possible.
You are my son.
Aidez-moi. Je n'en peux plus.
Not too shaken up. You've experienced many significant events since your arrival.
You can say that again.
For now, I think you ought to find Sarah, my son. You ought to talk things over with her.
So she's been lying to me all along?
Let her justify herself. What's done is done. Sarah must explain herself. You must clear the air. We'll have all the time we need to talk afterwards. But all in good time. Before you join her, I'd like to give you something. As a demon, I would like to introduce you to your first talent.
What do you mean?
Open your mind, my son. Relax. You hold immense power. It's already there inside you. Empty your mind of all thoughts. Just let me show you the way.
I should relax.
Open your mind. Hear my voice. Feel the vibrations and listen to what has been happening to you deep
C'est tout
inside.
bonnement
But which you
incroyable ce
have been
qu'il se passe.
concealing. Trust yourself. It's all already in there.
I can hear something.
Now breathe.
It's a sound, very faint.
That's right. Concentrate on it. My voice is growing fainter, but I am here.
Whispers, words, mixed voices.
Focus on one of them. Don't be afraid.
I sense a stream. Some words are clear, but not all of them.
Let them enter into your mind.
I hear them. Now I can hear a clear voice.
Well done, Louis. Congratulations.
What was it?
You are now able to read people's minds.
What?
You heard me. From now on, whenever a human speaks to you, you will be able to read their current thoughts. So, if you need to know something in particular from someone, all you have to do is make them think about it.
But it'd be a violation of their most intimate thoughts, wouldn't it?
To begin with, there's nothing obliging you to do it. You already had the ability without even knowing it. I just gave you the option of putting it into practice if you want. Moreover, it would be wrong to evoke morality here. Every species is different, Louis, and this is the way we are made. That's all there is to it. You are free to use this talent or not. And what's more, it will be up to you to decide what to do with the thoughts you read. That is where the values of right and wrong do come into play. There are also a few rules you need to know that govern this talent when used between ourselves. You can read the thoughts of demons as well as of humans. But be careful. A demon more experienced than yourself will know that you are spying and will often react quite violently. It's considered bad form to play around the psyche of another demon. It's a question of courtesy. But let's be clear. What is most considered bad form is getting caught. So I would advise against trying to read the thoughts of Gregory, for example.
Home?
Yes, the old grump is touchy and rather a stickler about the conventions. On that note, go and see Sarah, Louis. Otherwise, she might leave without you. We'll continue this discussion later if you want. Just join me in my study when you've finished.
Oh mais non, mais oh, c'est terrifiant. Vous vous rendez compte quand même? On est arrivé sur l'île. On était juste le fils de Sarah et on voulait la retrouver sur invitation de Mortimer. Et Là, finalement, on est un démon. Fils de Mortimer. Fils... Enfin, petit-fils, du coup, de celui qui a fait Jésus. C'est n'importe quoi.
You're right. I need to go now. See you later, Lord Mortimer.
One more thing. If you want to know the truth about your birth, ask her about Paris, 1763.
Paris,
At
1663, 12
Rue
rue
des
des
Martyrs.
Martyrs.
That's where she disemboweled your mother
Le monde est
to steal
petit.
you from
Oui.
me.
It's not that I regret all these discussions, but I must hurry to the wharf.
Alors... Ah, Blix, c'est pour toi ça.
Oh no! No, Mother!
Louis? It was an accident, I'm sorry. I didn't have a choice. She attacked me. I didn't want to hurt her.
What happened?
I was on the wharf. It was dark. She seemed to be preparing to depart. I moved closer. I wanted us to talk, but as soon as she saw me, she threatened me. I wanted her to explain to me in her own words what had happened to Emma. I had to know what happened, Louis. You understand that, don't you? Is it really for him that you left me, Emily? That's pathetic. Look, he still doesn't get it for crying out loud.
Je te déteste officiellement, Blix. Je te déteste. C'est terrifiant ce que j'ai fait. Du coup, je peux pas lui demander sur le 12 rue des Martyrs là.
Bitch.
What? Louis, what's wrong with you?
No, you are not Emily.
Ah, that. It took you long enough to figure it out, though. Oh, I felt sorry for you when I saw you couldn't even recognize her, Louis. What do you expect? It
Rien ne
wasn't my
va.
fault. Was it perhaps that night we
Absolument
spoke
rien
together
ne
after
va.
the conference that persuaded you that I was worth more than her?
What?
Oh, you still don't get it. The night of the conference? It wasn't poor Emily who paid you a little visit in your room. Oh, she was much too busy with Monsieur Bonaparte.
No, that's not true.
It was me, of course. I assure you, you got something a whole lot better. And when I think she wasn't even armed when I arrived. Right. Take a moment to think and meet me at the manor later.
You're crazy.
Now, Louis, don't push it. I understand your grief, but I won't put up with that sort of talk from you or anybody.
Die, you bitch.
Eh non, tu vois, Blix. J'ai bien tué Emma. Qui avait donc tort. Bon, par contre, du coup, à cause de ça, j'ai raté le plus important. J'ai raté le 12 rue des Martyrs, là, pour savoir comment je suis né. 3 manuscrits, je n'en ai pas. Très bloqué, fils indigne. Pardon. Où est-ce que j'ai ça? Non, c'est dans le trait, on a dit. Conviction coûte un point d'effort de plus, vous gagnez un point de compétence en occultisme. Eh ben... Vous avez laissé la Disboro tuer Sardriché. Oh là là.
Swimming in lies. Emily, what a waste. I feel like I know nothing. That I have to learn everything all over again. I'm a demon. I age more slowly. I can mentally manipulate people. I don't even know if it's a good thing or a curse.
On va dire que c'est bien.
No, this is an advantage. I could get used to this pretty quickly, I think. Damn it, what a mess. Come on, man up, Louis. I'm still the same old me. Demon or not, I'm still in charge of my actions. And this father, I know nothing about. Yes, I've still got a lot to learn. It's enough to drive you crazy. Everything I believed in, nothing holds true anymore. Pull yourself together, man. I need to find some answers. There's no way of being alone for a minute.
Qui toque à la porte?
Sir Gregory?
Good day, Louis. I think it would be good to talk. How are you feeling?
I don't know.
I understand. I heard that William spoke to you at last about our nature and our family. It's a good thing, but you must be a bit shaken.
Salut Embraïste, merci d'être
That's the
passé.
least you can say.
I bid you welcome among
N'oubliez pas
us.
de venir
Knowing William,
samedi soir
we
pour
probably
l'épisode
didn't go
5.
into any detail about our family, so if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask.
How long has our family been in existence?
We have been here since the very beginning.
What do you mean, exactly?
Are you trying to get information from me?
Oui.
No, not at all. I was just wondering why that particular question seemed to disturb you.
Let us not insist, then. You yourself weren't very convinced by the question, it seems.
How many of us are there in the family?
We are 8 brothers and sisters.
Ça.
What do you mean by brothers and sisters if we can change bodies?
You reason with logic. We have retained the human habit. When we first come into this world, we retain a certain attachment to our first envelope. If we are born as a man, we are brothers. If we are born as a woman, we are sisters. But I must admit, it has absolutely no real importance. They're just bodies.
Well, tell me then, are there any other families like ours?
There are officially 7, but we're the oldest and therefore the most powerful.
Is there a head of the family?
You'll see. You'll meet them all, of course, when you are ready. They created us and set out the rules, especially our father. As for our mother, she retired from the political stage. We don't see her much anymore. I think that all these questions simply bore her.
What's Lord Mortimer's problem?
I think he allows himself to be devoured by a need for recognition.
Has he always been like that?
More or less, but thinking about it, I believe that the birth of our latest sibling greatly accentuated his discomfort.
Do you think he's jealous?
I didn't realize you were so good at behavioral analysis. Indeed, William certainly is prone to jealousy. Finding one's place, notably in the eyes of our father, is not easy, and we each do what we can to succeed. But I can't justify this perpetual rebellion against our rules.
I see. There is still much to learn.
Yes, it's true. You've got some catching up to do, my boy. One thing you must understand regarding any disagreements that might arise between William and myself is his position with regard to mankind.
What do you mean?
Well, for centuries we've been trying to help and therefore preserve humanity. Monarchies are simple and practical. They enable us to inspire humanity efficiently, and I can't understand why William wants to replace them with democracy.
But if your intention is not to dominate the human race, why not let them be master of their own destinies?
I perfectly understand this type of reaction from you, less from William. The main thing you're lacking is time. Man is transient, and one of his particularities is that he does not learn from the errors of his peers. He uses up an incredible amount of energy building and destroying whatever he himself has put into place. If we weren't here to help them, guide them, I sincerely believe that humanity would have become extinct by now. We are eternal, Louis. When we plan ahead, we do it for the long term.
Yes, I understand, but that's more like tyranny, isn't it?
Well, it's all a question of your point of view. From man's point of view, I can understand how he would have that impression if ever he found out. But don't forget your true nature. From the demon's point of view, in other words, ours, letting man do as he thinks fit would equate to letting him race to his own demise.
But what about man's freedom to choose?
That is man's worst enemy, Louis. Imagine a creature that dies without reaching the age of adulthood. It remains a child. We have to help him, otherwise he will put himself in danger. It has taken centuries for our family to establish relative peace between demons. Thanks to this policy, we have been able to decide everything by confining the other families to subordinate roles. And now William is obsessed with disrupting everything.
Peace between demons? What do you mean?
I'm not talking about conflicts within our family. If that was all there was, everything would be fine. But several other families, younger but nonetheless powerful, are trying to upset the balance. At present, we dominate most of the major countries around the globe. But some families are pushing, via less influential countries, to gain ground. Do you understand?
As best I can, yes.
When the time comes, you must take up a position on the political chessboard. I only hope your father doesn't take you down with him.
Are you trying to warn me that I'm in danger?
That, Louis, will be up to you to choose. Most of all, make sure you don't pick the wrong side. William has had all the time he needs to think about this. You do not. I'm sorry to say this, but this first choice might well be of capital importance to your future. I want you to make an informed choice. Now go and see your father, see what he has to say, and then think it over very carefully.
That's exactly what I intended to do. Thank you, Uncle.
Don't mention it. If I've been able to help you in any way, go now.
Allez, on va voir Mortimer. Oh non mais c'est vraiment c'est... Si on m'avait dit que ça finissait comme ça... Enfin, c'est même pas fini du coup. Et si on m'avait dit que ça allait dans ce sens-là, j'aurais pas cru. Hein. Franchement, c'est n'importe quoi.
Louis, I was sure you would stay. I'm proud of you. You've made the right choice. You must have been disappointed not to have been able to speak to Sarah one last time. I would have liked her to tell you herself.
Well, I guess I'll never know now.
True. Even so, there is one more thing I haven't told you about her. Sarah was my daughter.
What? But why didn't you tell me the truth about her?
I thought that might be...
Pardon. Pardon. Mais c'est n'importe quoi.
Too many truths to absorb at one time. I intended to tell you afterwards. You were in a hurry, so I made a decision. You've been able to understand and choose for yourself. How do you feel?
Hard to say. Confused about everything? I have to admit, it's been a lot to take in such a short amount of time.
What could be more normal? It may have been a bit brutal, but you've just grown up in a very short space of time. From now on, you can influence your own future. I will guide you. We've all the time we need.
You're not the first to make me that offer.
What do you mean by that?
Your brother, Sir Gregory.
Gregory. Why am I not even surprised? What did he say?
I think he's worried about you.
Worried? Marvelous. That's just like him. You know, in a family like ours, we all have a role to play, and his is to worry about everyone else. Let me reassure you, there's no reason for him to worry about me.
And what's your role in this family?
Mine? Oh, I think they probably feel I'm the eternal naysayer, I suppose. I think one mustn't be afraid of change, and that it is healthy to challenge oneself at regular intervals. I don't impose anything on anyone. I'm just following my own path.
But where does it lead?
I suppose I should explain. For centuries now, demons have emerged in and around great leaders all over the world. But like true tyrants, they have governed with an iron fist in a studded glove.
That's the impression I get.
But you see, people's discontent is increasing, and they are too high up to hear it. They take themselves for gods. Sooner or later, the people will turn against us, just as they have in the past. Each time it's happened, many of us have died. We must master the humans, yes, but gently. And the best way of doing that is by allowing them a free choice, Louis.
You really are trying to liberate men?
Of course not entirely, no. It is easier to keep control over people who slumber than people who are oppressed. A man with nothing to lose is a dangerous man. Whereas if you give him a roof, food, and entertainment, he will do whatever you want. The best way of getting them to achieve something is to make them think it was their idea. For that, they have to feel as if they are free.
Hang on. What do you mean?
Look at the United States. From the start, I introduced an idea that will change everything. The idea that everything is possible. Everyone can become someone. Is there anything more beautiful?
You mean it's not true?
Man can move mountains when he believes it is in his own interest. And what nobler cause is there than his own freedom?
Do you have any more examples?
Of course.
Talk to me about slavery.
Well, take the slave trade, for example. It's an archaic practice that simply has to stop. Today, black slaves of America work for free and in unbearable conditions. Tomorrow, if you free the blacks and offer them work along with a salary, they will bless you for it. Then, they will be integrated into the system. They will be taxable. Once they are free, they will have to work for a roof, pay taxes, and feed their families. Maybe we could take away the civil rights of prisoners, for example. In this way, we'll keep control of all those who respect the system and benefit from the others as a workforce.
And what would you propose for women?
They must be given the right to work and to vote. Look, at the moment, they don't work. They take care of raising children. What a mistake. We have to get them out of the house. Make them work. In this way, not only will they become consumers, but they will also delegate the job of education to the system. We could guide humanity from a young age, Louis, don't you see? Today we are wasting too much time. What obscurantism! By harping on this concept of good and evil, guilt and redemption, look where men are now, locked up in beliefs that should no longer exist. It's time for men to rediscover themselves and to take control of their lives, as they really are, without any moral judgment.
Tell me what you think about progress.
Progress is essential, Louis. It's the future.
What else?
Progress must liberate humanity from burdensome chores. Progress must replace man wherever his presence is not obligatory. It creates both the desire and the need. It will liberate women as soon as the machines are able to do all the chores in the home automatically. It will bring men together by bringing a faster means of locomotion. Look at the cultural revolution that printing brought about. But the most important of all has already been laid. The foundation stone. Freedom of speech. The First Amendment of the Constitution. There must be opponents to every project. So, above all, don't develop a one-track approach. Otherwise, man won't have enough room for expression to feel free. If man sees his chains, he will only want to break them. If we give men the feeling that they are free, I am convinced that they will exceed their limits. And it is only from that condition that humanity shall rise up.
But do you want to dominate or raise humanity higher?
I want it to advance. I want it to progress. Man is our vessel. If he progresses, then so do we. Wouldn't you like to know what
Mortimer, c'est vraiment le genre de type qui
Demons? Yes.
qui a un discours positif et qui en profite pour le gâcher juste après.
I am convinced that the sciences will bring that knowledge someday.
So, that's your objective, is it? To understand who we are? I see your point.
Our family clings to its privileges and to the past, and that's how they are putting us in danger. The time has come for change. Now that you know your true nature, there are still a few things I need to teach you.
What do you mean exactly?
A new skill, and not the least, Louis. It's about taking control of a person.
I don't see how I could do that.
I shall help you the first time.
How do you do it?
It's an animal resonance. How it works is still a bit unclear even to us.
Like a wave or a sound?
That seems the most likely, yes. In my opinion, demons are capable of tuning their psychic frequency to that of others. That is why, for example, I tend to surround myself with deaf and dumb servants. The servants dressed in black. I infiltrated them. I opened a channel between them and me, and then I deprived them of speech and hearing. This way, no other demon can turn them against me.
C'est fourbe.
Okay, let's not waste any more time.
I deduce that you're impatient to master what's in store for you. That is good. I thought I'd mix business with pleasure for this first time.
What do you mean by that?
The conference will come to a close shortly, as you know. Not that I'm fed up with archaic diplomacy, but it's time to ensure the success of this project. To make this happen, I would like Piaget to inform the Pope he has changed sides.
You're going to use your powers to alter the votes?
The real game is about to begin. Up till now, the guests have been sizing each other up. From now on, it's time for Gregory and myself to play, as well as you yourself. Now, here is my plan. I would like you to join His Eminence in his room.
Just play along. We'll see when the time comes. Very well. And then?
You're going to have to trust me. What we're going to do is painless for the human you are going to invade.
Invade?
Yes. You're going to enter his mind and take control. You're going to influence his actions and his psyche. Make him speak, then concentrate. You must focus on him in order to feel his thoughts. Then, while speaking, you must link with him. Once you're done, you will naturally find your way to the source and enter into his thoughts.
But what if I fail?
Trust in your instincts. You just have to let yourself go. You have the skill. Let your nature come to the fore. You'll see. If you fail, you'll be in for some light banter with His Eminence. That's all. There's nothing to be afraid of.
Very well.
Perfect. Go now. The Cardinal is in his room. You will have to write a letter to the Pope as if Piaggi had written it himself. In this letter, tell the Pope that whatever happens during the conference, he must follow my propositions. But be careful. In order to protect himself from counterfeiters, the Pope had Piaggi's hand tattooed with a symbol to be sure of his identity. You'll see when you're inside him. You'll understand. Once it's written up, just bring it back to me, and I'll send it off immediately.
All right, I'll take care of it.
Bon, allons voir ce bon vieux Piaggi. C'est quand même terrible ce qu'on va faire. Hein. Le pauvre. On peut pas traverser les murs vu qu'on a des pouvoirs surnaturels là. Oh, j'ai crapahuté dans les couloirs. Allons, Piaggi, à nous deux.
Ah, well, Louis, what brings you back to my chambers?
May I sit down?
Of course, Louis. Don't you feel good?
Yes, but if I'm gonna pass inside you, I'd better sit myself down first.
It's nothing, don't worry about it.
Well, what can I do for you?
Right. Now I need to concentrate.
I wanted to speak to you, Your Eminence.
Alors, on va juste voir. Piaggi, il a pas d'immunité. Donc on va
What
lui parler
exactly is
politique.
your role with regard to the Holy Father?
What? What on earth is he playing at?
It's coming. You're a cardinal in Pictori. Why don't you admit it?
Impertinent little brat. Louis, I don't find this conversation in very good
No.
taste.
All right, it's coming. Come on, Giuseppe, let me in.
What?
I've done it. I've done it, damn it. He was right. This is just crazy. I can't believe it.
You, je suis un cardinal.
Look at yourself, Louis. You better not get caught. Whoa. I still need to get used to this body. So, let's see about what Mortimer asked me. Right. Well, it's time I got started. Let's see what I can find here to help me write that letter. I have no means to validate my forgery, so I better take my time with it and not make any mistakes. There are 2 letters from the Pope on the desk. I should be able to get a clue or 2 by checking how well they correspond to each other. And here are 3 stamps. All are different.
EH, HB, CF. Je sais pas.
start writing. Lord Mortimer asked me to discredit Sir Gregory and to announce Piaggi's final vote in his favor. As an introduction, Your Holiness, thank you for your trust. It turns out, now that I'm here, that I find Lord Mortimer's projects grant us many more advantages in comparison to what Sir Gregory has suggested. We are talking about the future of the Holy See. There, that should be enough to justify the change of vote. In one of the letters, the Pope asked Piaggi to change and to stop using his personal stamp. He asked him to use the one with the Pope's motto on it. And I remember that. Flore in Domo Domini. There's a kind of code composed of 6 letters that they always write under the dates of their correspondence. According to Mortimer, it's got something to do with Piaggi's tattoo. I guess I'll have to write one for today's date. Now, ideally, it'd be better to do without it, but I'm going to need to be extremely clever here. Today, the date is 24/01/1793.
Complexe code.
In the letters from the Pope, there are 6 letters just below the date, 2 just below the month, 4 others below the year. Piaggi's tattoo. It must be used to establish a connection between the letter of the concentric circle and the number shown in the middle. Today, the date is 24/01/1793. Today, the date is 24/01/1793. Today, the date is 24/01/1793.
C'est impossible, je ne comprends pas. On va réécrire HBCF.
Today, the date is 24/01/1793. Today, the date is 24/01/1793. Today, the date is 24/01/1793. Today is the 24/01/1793.
Your Eminence, all ready to send... What's he doing here?
Damn it. That's all I need.
Don't worry, he can't hear us.
What do you mean he can't hear us? What's going on here, Piaggi?
I don't know what to say. He was already here when I entered my room. I presumed he must be tired.
Tired? Are you having me on, Piaggi? Or what?
What? I wouldn't dare.
I don't know what you're trying to pull, but I really don't like it.
I was about to fetch someone to take care of him. Would you care to go?
There he is, and there he stays. It's a perfect opportunity.
What do you mean?
It's been a while now that I've been hoping for a chance to get rid of him. Can you keep a secret?
Of course, my son. Would you like to tell me under the confidentiality of confession?
Ah, don't talk rubbish. I don't trust the little runt because he is Mortimer's son. Would you believe it?
How does he know?
Dear God, how is that possible? I am flabbergasted.
We've wasted enough time. What if he wakes up? If you don't want to get your hands dirty, just turn away and leave everything to me.
This is not a decision to be taken lightly.
You're defending him now.
What are you talking about? Of course not.
He's made you change sides, hasn't he?
You find Louis unconscious and conclude that I'm his accomplice?
It's not so much finding him here as you being against me getting rid of him.
C'est terrible.
That's not what you thought the day before yesterday, after he eavesdropped on our conversation. Listen carefully, Piaggi. If you say anything, you'll be the one they find dead in your bed. Huh? Now, just turn around and let me handle this.
Don't touch him! Out of my room!
I don't know what the two of you are up to, but I'll find out sooner or later.
Right.
On a frappé Van Volner, c'est beau.
Right. Don't just stand there, Louis. Mortimer's waiting for you in the red salon.
Bon. Maintenant, on doit aller dans la salle à manger. Oui. Que dois-je faire? Mais... Ah.
So, Louis, what was your first time like? Bewildering, isn't it?
Here's your letter. I have to admit that the experience was utterly amazing.
Come, tell me more.
Not much else to say, other than I've already developed a taste for it.
Delighted to hear it. Bear in mind that you will discover many new things by going from body to body.
Is it possible to go from one body to another several times?
With practice, yes. Some of us have become masters in the art of bouncing from one body to another, to the extent that they can't be found. But you did it. Gregory, what can I do for you?
I've just come to make sure dear Louis has all the information he needs.
Needs for what?
You are free to make your own choices, William. I would like the same for him, too.
There's nothing I want more, Gregory.
Your schemes will lead to your demise, brother. Don't involve Louis. He has nothing to do with all this. The end of the conference approaches, and this masquerade will soon be torn asunder. Don't drag him down with you in your disgrace.
Oh, ye of little faith.
On the contrary, brother, Louis has just entered the family. Give him a chance to find his place.
His place?
What place is that?
At the end of a leash, like all the others.
Don't listen to him. He's angry with our father.
And with good reason. He governs us in the same way he governs humanity. Through fear and submission.
Same old tune. When will you understand that it's necessary to impose order for things to move forward properly?
You are under his thumb and proud of it. Open your eyes, for crying out loud. His whole system has become outdated, and he's too old to see it. He will lead us to our demise.
Here he goes with another of his grand speeches. William has always been fond of staging big scenes. It's his theatrical side.
Does he have an inferiority complex?
I've told him time and time again, Louis. He always has to take it one step too far.
How dare you? You are blind, brother. Even if the evidence bit you on the nose, you still wouldn't see it. I feel sorry for you.
Tea is drunk hot or not at all, William. When will you learn? It's too bitter. You shouldn't let it brew so long.
I knew you'd be coming along. You are so predictable.
Methodical, I would say. Things must be accomplished in the right order if we want the world to keep turning as it does.
When you speak of the right order, I can't help hearing your order.
Louis, wouldn't you think that by now we've acquired a certain experience?
Je défends la
Don't you
démocratie.
think that we are the best place to know what the right order should be by now?
I mostly understand that even with the best of intentions, this kind of talk could well be misinterpreted. Every powerful man has had to speak in this way at some stage. That doesn't mean that they were right or that they achieved great things. Take the kings of France, for example. They weren't all good monarchs.
You see, Louis, Gregory came here to make you change your mind. It's time for things to change. I acknowledge Father has done many good things for humanity, but his time is over, and now he must pass on the torch.
That's enough. There, Louis. That's the pathetic example your father has to offer. I really am sorry about what happened to you. You don't know our family yet. We can't have given you a very good impression, but bear in mind that we are all against William's project.
On the contrary.
If he insists on going through with it, we will have no other choice than to intervene by force. Consequently, my dear Louis, you're going to have to choose sides. I would much rather have met you in different circumstances.
There you are, Louis. See what happens when you don't follow their orders to a letter.
Louis, I'm afraid the time to decide is now. If you follow William, he will drag you down with him. If, on the other hand, you support me, I can assure you that nothing will happen to you. You won't be blamed for your father's errors.
Ah, the masks are off. I offer you liberty. He obliges you to choose, and shamelessly asks you to betray your own father. That is their true face.
Right. Before I answer, well, I better think it over very carefully. Do I intend to embrace my demon nature and take my place on the chessboard? Do I stay out of it and do my utmost to stop them? Or do I renounce my nature and do all I can to stay human? It's useless trying to resist my true nature. I'm a demon. May as well accept it. The sooner, the better. Even if I continue to live as a human, all my friends and acquaintances will inevitably end up dying. And I'll be left on my own, forever. I'm a demon and I have to behave like one. The sooner, the better.
So? What do you choose, Louis?
Terrible ce choix. Je pense que ça va être vite fait. On va aller avec Mortimer. Son projet quand même est plus intéressant.
But don't say I didn't warn you.
Please, don't take offense, but I just can't turn my back on him.
It's time we finished what we started, brother. The final vote of the conference over the acquisition of Louisiana will take place in a few hours. I propose you gather your troops and prepare to close the debate.
That's precisely what I was going to suggest.
Come, follow me. It's time for us to get ready.
L'équipe de vainqueurs là.
Do you really think we have a chance of winning?
A chance? You don't know me very well, Louis. We are going to win.
But it only takes one person to vote against us, and we'll have lost.
That's true. That's why none of them will. Why? Because I have an asset that they do not.
Which is?
You. My friends, prepare yourselves. The conference is about to resume. The time has come to lay down all our cards.
Ok, j'ai tout réussi, c'est beau. Alors, des 4 points. Que peut-on améliorer? C'est ça. Oh, c'est déjà fini. Il était plutôt court. Bon. On va donc clôturer ce stream là-dessus. C'était très éprouvant quand même. Je sais pas vous, mais moi, je trouve ça éprouvant. D'ailleurs, avant de finir ça, je tiens à partager le lien de ma chaîne YouTube, sur laquelle je mets toutes les rediffs. Et n'hésitez pas à vous abonner, ça me ferait très plaisir. Et merci à vous d'être venus ce soir. On est 6, c'est pas mal. Enfin, moi, personnellement, je ne suis pas, mais bon, vous. Et voilà. Du coup, le prochain stream, c'est samedi soir. Puisque du coup, samedi, je travaille, donc demain, ça va pas trop être possible de faire quelque chose le soir. Enfin, voilà. Bonne soirée à vous.